Airports are a liminal space that no man was designed to be in more than 3 or 4 times a year. They are quite literally the waiting space between your first destination and your last destination. And I think that specifically, if you're flying American, they are like kind of the closest thing to hell that you can get to in this life. Unless you have lounge access, then they're definitely hell. But it's like hell with free booze and free food, but it's not great booze and it's not great food. So it's a net even, I think. But the things that I witnessed this last weekend in the airport lounge are the kinds of things that are normal for the airport lounge, but shouldn't be. For example, they were cleaning around the espresso machine. Someone had spilled an iced coffee. It wasn't me, but I just had made an iced coffee. So if there is footage that you see of that, disregard it. Don't even watch it. It's AI generated. It's not me spilling an iced coffee. But so they're cleaning around the espresso machine, and an old man puts his stuff down. He hails an employee, sir, excuse me. I'm thinking he needs something. He goes, I just want to let you know you missed a spot when you were mopping. What? And then he sits down after getting a coffee, sits down right next to me, picks his phone up. Yep, I just sat down at the airport. Voice texts. There's no crime on this earth greater than voice texting in public, but if there were one, it would be sending an audio message to someone that you're not already in an active conversation with. I don't want to read or listen to an audio message. I think that it's like evil. And if it weren't for Apple adding a transcription, I would never listen to them. So any person that sent me an audio message before Apple or any software started adding the transcription features to them, just know I've never listened to them once a day in my life. That's neither here nor there. He kept voice texting. I heard every little piece of his conversation. It was not important, nor was it interesting in the least, but I just needed to report back and let you know that he was doing it, and it was horrible to witness. The person across from me kept making eye contact with me in a non-sexual way, which is the worst kind of way you can make eye contact with me. And he was telling me with his eyes that he felt held hostage by the person next to me as well, who was voice texting. And then I really should have expected this kind of treatment at the lounge this trip, because when I arrived in, the kind lady and I were having a great chat when we were interrupted by a man in his mid-20s. He was a little bit bisexual looking, and he came to the counter and he was clutching his hand as if it was hurt. And he goes, hey, I broke some glass. Is there any way I can get some help cleaning up the last bits? I picked most of it up myself. Did you cut your hand on your glass and not ask for help until you were bleeding? I'm a little concerned for you, brother. It's the airport lounge. Like, they're gonna pick it up if you ask them nicely. Why'd you drop the glass also? I understand accidents happen, but did it have to happen this way? So that set the tone before the old man sitting next to me. And then there were these two people who were kind of just like directly across from me. They were in complimentary plaid, so that's how I knew they were dating. And they were also wearing KN95s, which, no shame in the game, I understand, and the importance of health, especially in an airport with an airborne virus, but that's neither here nor there. They had an Eastern European vibe about them that I couldn't really put my finger on, kind of Swedish in nature. I didn't ever hear them speak, so they could have not been Eastern European, but it was kind of giving that to me. So I, as any person does, I developed an entire narrative around their life. And so I decided that the man was there with his wife. His woman is what I almost said, which would have been a really crazy thing to say. But the man was there with his wife, and she was on a business trip. She just started a new business, and she was in Canva building out a pitch deck. The slides were blank. And you could tell he was stressed about it because they had sunk their entire savings into this business. and he really loves travel. So he was really excited about the trip, but he was just kind of pacing back and forth while she was hovering over the canvas slide deck in a way that seemed like she had 20 minutes to finish it before she got on her flight, because it's Canva, you can't, unless you're getting in-flight Wi-Fi, you're not going to be able to edit that slide deck, hon. You're not going to be able to edit that slide deck. But I left before the slide deck was finished, and I assumed that her pitch went well, and I'm hoping that their savings pay off. I mean, I could only assume that she was on her way to New York to pitch for Shark Tank. I think that she probably would get it just based off the way that they were wearing the same complimentary plaid. I'm really hopeful for her, actually, and I hope for her husband that, and his sake, that they got the pitch. Mainly just because I think he loves to travel. I think he really liked the vibe in the airport lounge, and I think he would love to come back soon. But you never know. Men are kind of hard to read, I guess. That's a lie. Nor was that funny. But yeah, it was kind of giving the vibe that he was just there for moral support and a free trip, which I don't blame him. I would do the same thing. I'm wishing all the best for them and their future endeavors. All that being said, I did eventually leave the airport lounge safe and sound after I consumed a beautiful helping of pecan waffles. Thank you so much to the airport lounge employee who made me my lukewarm waffles. I appreciate you. And I also would just ask that maybe we add ice at the airport lounge. I don't know why there's not an ice machine. I assume that there was probably another incident where they missed a spot and the ice machine got removed. But I'm hopeful that it'll return one day. Last thing before I go, leave a comment if you have access to the airport lounge. I'm starting to think that it's really not all it's chalked up to be, and that this was all just a ruse to get me to sign up for a credit card with a very, very high annual fee. I am happy when I'm in an airport lounge, but I'm not that happy. And I would love to know if other people are experiencing this. So just drop a comment and let me know. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. I've been Sweet Cheeks. And I hope that you enjoyed today's clown face and this little goofy story about my experience at the airport lounge last weekend.